shut it down right now. Good. All right, yeah, we good. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakadash, the honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and citations to the elect. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, Miami. Brother Lawyer with me,
Jeremiah.
and the topic we're going to go into in this lesson is going to be the time is at hand. Matter of fact, Revelation, the first chapter. Okay, I believe it's the third verse.
This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Con. All right, so this is how the Lord opens up the book of Revelation, which we understand in the book of Revelation is a revelation that the Lord is giving John the Baptist, all right, of the last days, all right, you know, the times that will precede his return and, you know, the events leading up to his return and eventually the kingdom, right? And so, you know, these visions that the ancient prophets have seen are playing out in the times that we're living in right now, okay? All right, so it's important for us to know the times and understand the times that we're living in, man, because everything that has been spoken aforetime is what's playing out, you know, as we speak, man, okay? And it's been many signs, you know, we always talk about the signs, you know, whenever we open up the videos, we always talk about the signs about the Lord returning, okay? Those signs being earthquakes in diverse places. Matter of fact, there was actually recently an earthquake that took place, okay? I believe it was in the Philippines. There was an earthquake that took place, like a 6.7 earthquake. All right, and we're in a time right now where there's so many earthquakes where it doesn't even get reported like how it used to. All right, it was a 6.7 earthquake in Mindanao, Philippines. Okay, all right, and there was also another earthquake in Russia, and then another earthquake of 7.4 in Santiago, Philippines, okay? All right, so here we are, we're at the last days, man, okay? Earthquakes in diverse places, also wars and rumors of wars, all right, things that's taking place over there in the Middle East, in Ukraine, and also over here in the Americas, man. All right, what it's looking like with DJT is that he's basically, you know, is using the military, giving the military, the National Guard, and ICE the go-ahead to wage war on American citizens. Okay, that's what it's looking like. That's where everything is moving towards, man, and everybody feels the tension. Okay, so yes, the time is at hand, man. We are in the last days. All right, the Lord is getting ready to come back. Now, I did come across an article recently, which brothers have been doing videos on it as well. All right, this is from abcnews.go.com, okay? And it says, Trump says he'd consider invoking the Insurrection Act. What does that mean? Okay, all right, and now when you go into the Insurrection Act, all right, which again, Trump says that he's considering invoking it. So now we got to know what the Insurrection Act is. Okay. All right. So let's go to, you know, ChatGPT, get a brief synopsis or summary of what the Insurrection Act is. Okay. All right. It says the Insurrection Act is a United States federal law that allows the president to deploy the military within the U.S. Okay. So not deploy the military to somewhere in Africa or overseas, or no, within the United States. The president has the authority to deploy the military into U.S. cities and use the U.S. military force against U.S. citizens. Okay, all right, and it says under certain circumstances, such as to suppress civil disorder. All right, which there's a lot of talk of that, You know, a lot of people are disenchanted and discontent with the American government. All right, upwards of the people will increase. Okay, and really the current administration and Esau's power structure, the powers that be are setting it up to where people want to revolt and they want to riot. And how do you know that? Because of the squeeze, man. They want chaos, man. The price of goods going up, the price of living, the cost of living is going up. Okay, you know, the government shut down. People are not getting their benefits, not getting paid. A lot of people getting laid off.
Snap.
Okay, SNAP is getting taken away. You know, they distrust the entire election system.
Yeah.
You know, so these are seeds that are being sown. All right, to lead to people rising up against the government and not wanting to adhere to the laws of the land. So it's going to lead to different riots and civil disputes and seditions, which the Bible prophesies about. That's really the point of everything I'm saying. The Bible talks about these things. You go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay, it talks about seditions amongst men. But I'm gonna finish reading about the Insurrection Act first. It says insurrection or rebellion. So it's to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion. Essentially, it gives the president the legal authority to use the armed forces on U.S. soil when state authorities are unable or unwilling to maintain order. Okay, so if the president deems the local state governors or city governors to be ineffective in maintaining law and order, he can invoke the Insurrection Act. And the headline goes into, all right, how he's considering it, man. Okay, which is in alignment with what? With the prophecies say concerning giving Egypt over unto a cruel lord, man, and a fierce king shall rule over them, man. Okay, all right, and you already know with that sentiment of him considering invoking the Insurrection Act, what's going to come with that is what? Division. Some people going to be like, yes, he doing the right thing. Some people going to be like, no, he doing the right thing. It's going to be a back and forth. Some people going to be with it. Then when they see the effects of it, they're going to be against it. You know? So it's going to lead to back and forth and eventually violence. Okay? So this is where we are in prophecy, man. The time is at hand, man. Okay? This is why the scriptures say, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth, man. Okay? All right? This is why the scriptures say, arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Be separate. Go you out from among them. Oh, okay? Count the cost. All right? Be willing to lose it all. Okay? Because the time is at hand. It is this very time that we're in, man, that the Lord is getting ready to come back, and things are only going to intensify. For all you individuals that want to talk about ain't no Jacob's trouble, man. The Insurrection Act is for niggas, man. They came up with the Insurrection Act during the Civil Rights Movement, man. When Jake was up and down marching in the streets, and protesting and shit like that. They came up for the Insurrection Act for niggas.
Esau always been plotting.
So he been plotting. This shit goes back to 1900s, man.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So this is, they've been plotting on you niggas, man.
Yep.
Now y'all the face of crime. Y'all the face of civil disorder. Okay? And insurrection. Okay? Trump is always using cities like Chicago and Baltimore, Philadelphia, Louisiana, these different major so-called crime hubs, which some of these statistics is coming out. A lot of that shit is exaggerated, okay, against Jake, okay? But he's saying, hey, fuck it, man. You local municipalities and governors and mayors cannot control the situation. Well, then shit, I'm gonna come and step in with the military. Okay, so that's where we are in prophecy. Okay, go ahead, bring it out, brother.
I got you mentioned the cruel Lord.
Bring it out.
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Right? So, hey, that cruel Lord is DJ Trump. That fierce king is DJ Trump. What he got on his mind? War, bloodshed. Okay? When he came to office, his hand was moving non-stop.
Moving non-stop.
Signing different executive orders and unrighteous decrees. So in that time, you talking about making America great again. The government is shut down. MAGA mad. Division. All right. I'm gonna just jump to verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's the vision. The scripture talk about, you know, a house divided, it won't stand. You know, you got left wing against the right wing, the rich against the poor, nation against nations, okay, MAGA against MAGA, people against people, all right? Let me hit 2nd Ezra 15, unless you got something.
Yeah, I just want to go a little bit further into the Insurrection Act, because the last time they really used those kinds of powers, or one of the last times, it's saying that, you know, it was during the Civil Rights Movement, they used similar powers during that time, but it's actually older than that. I'm actually looking more into it. All right, it says, matter of fact, let me see here, we'll pull up. Because they've used this, they've used these powers before, man. So what makes you think that they won't use it again? All right. This is, well, it says historical background. All right, it says first passed in 1807, so it's going back further. They've been plotting on you niggas, man. The act has been amended several times. It was originally intended to give federal government a tool to enforce law and order where states could not control rebellions or violent uprisings. Okay, all right. Which again, they're setting the stage. They're setting the scene. Okay, for violent uprising. They're basically they really kind of like poking and prodding at the American people to rebel against the government.
That's the order of the king.
Okay, exactly, man. You think they don't understand that price of living is going up, that people losing their jobs, that people are frustrated with the current administration? You think you think they're not aware of that? Okay, you know that people are tired of paying high taxes, man, and these endless wars. You think they're not reading the different forums that's taking place online? Okay, they're very much aware, and guess what? They're basically giving you people their ass to kiss. Okay, all right, so that you can do have a reason to rise up against the government. Okay, so they can use their force against you, man. They're trying to find a way to justify the tyranny that they're coming down with. Okay, all right. It says conditions for use. The president can invoke the act in situations such as suppressing insurrection or rebellion against U.S. authority, protecting federal law if state governments are failing to enforce it. Which again, there's a lot of people who are tired of the government. They are tired of the powers that be. They're tired of the way the country is being run, whether it's even on the left or the right. You know, this whole left, right, you know, back and forth. Well, guess what? A lot of people are just tired on both sides, man. Okay? They were tired of Trump, then they were tired of Biden, now they're tired of Trump again. You know?
But they believe in him, though.
Right.
They trusted in him.
Exactly. Which is why the scriptures say, woe unto you that trust in the shadow of Egypt, man.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, it says protecting federal law if state governments are failing to enforce it, responding to situations where civil rights are being denied and state authorities are unable or unwilling to help. Okay? All right, it says typically the president must issue a proclamation ordering the insurgents to disperse before deploying troops. All right, so it's saying that typically under normal circumstances, he has to give a warning out first, like, hey, y'all need to chill before I use these powers. Okay, but he's just straight up said it that these inner cities, you know, are too violent. You know, the local authorities can't seem to handle it. So if they can't handle it, I will. That's the energy that he's coming in. Okay, it says some parts of the law also allow deployment without state consent if the situation is extreme. So in certain situations, he can just say, to hell with it, I'm just going to deploy it, okay, if the situation is too extreme to handle, man. Okay? So what happens if there's another lockdown? Okay, what happens if there's another pandemic? Remember, there was a lot of, dissent about that, man. A lot of, people rising up and not liking the whole situation, going out and rioting and protesting about that. Okay? All right, what happens if the power goes out or something like that in a major city? The water gets cut off. You know, the situation is ripe for chaos to erupt. Okay, all right, which will justify the use of this act being actually invoked. And again, he's saying he's considering it, but looking at this nigga track record, he may very well do it before the end of this year or going into next year, man. All right, he already just said and called for the National Guard to be deployed in different cities. Okay. All right, so now what? Okay. It says notable uses: Little Rock, Arkansas, 1957. Federal troops enforced school desegregation. Los Angeles riots, 1992. Federal troops were deployed to restore order. Rarely used overall, as it is seen as a serious step that bypasses normal law enforcement channels. Okay, but again, don't think that these crackers won't do it, man. All right, the fact that this is making major news, man, means that, you know, the people are starting to see a trend, okay, of how this current administration is running, man. And again, it's all according to the biblical prophecy. We're not speaking for it, or, well, I won't say it's not speaking for it. We want the prophecies to come to pass. All right, that's the perspective that we coming from. We're not here to speak against it or be a, rise up against the government and try to incite violence. No, we just let you know that this is what the scriptures talk about, man. In the last days, it's going to be commotions. It's going to be distress of nations with perplexity. Okay? Now you got that 2 Esdras 15 chapter?
Yeah. You mentioned how, people tired.
Right.
The elder brother in New York, I'm on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
The video I put in the chat, but pretty much the title of the video was, trying to find it real quick. It says the daughters of Zion are about to catch holy hell.
Right.
And when you watch the video, they go into the women, they crying about how the EBT is snapped. They're not receiving no benefits. they sound crying.
Right.
Like hard body, like moaning and groaning.
Right. Well, what happens when people can't eat? What? Go to 2 Esdras 15 chapter, because the 2 Esdras 15 gives you the whole breakdown, man.
Yeah.
Okay?
The 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Go to the point. It's additional man.
Come on, this 2 Esdras 15. And I'm going to jump down to verse,
Go to the world.
verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. That's right. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand.
Right. So it's going to be civil disputes. Okay? Civil disorder. One side versus the other side. Okay? They not, one side won't think they right, think the other side is wrong, and vice versa, man. Okay? And it's not going to be something that's just we read about on a news article in another country, or see on the news, a little clip on the news or on TikTok somewhere in the Middle East or Africa or Southeast Asia, somewhere. No, this is coming to the United States of America, man. Okay.
This verse, it says swords in their hands.
Right. Weapons, guns.
Yep.
It's gonna be violent, man.
Knives, literal swords.
Yeah, it's gonna be violent, man. The past few years, especially with the lockdowns, COVID, and everything else, the riots was going on around that time. Okay, a lot. Of course, you had protests and stuff. They was breaking through buildings, but for the most part, you didn't really have like violence as far as shedding blood. Okay, but that violence concerning shedding blood is coming, man. Okay, you're gonna have people out here with their guns shooting other people, broad daylight, people out with machetes killing each other. Like, it's gonna get real bloody, man. Okay? Alright? Things are not going back to normal, man. What people call normal, pre C-19.
Yeah.
Alright? Pre-2019, that year, man. That era is done. Okay? It's a wrap. Okay?
2 Esdras 15, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
That's right. Okay, so they're not going to regard their kings or princes, man. So which means disorder, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to want to listen to what their local governors have to say, what their local mayors have to say, law enforcement and sheriffs. Nah, when a people hungry
Yeah.
and they can't make ends meet, what do you think they gonna do, man? Okay?
Take that.
They don't got no jobs. They gonna take it. They gonna be breaking up into these stores, breaking into each other's houses, out in the streets, rioting, going to the federal buildings, asking for change and solutions.
Busting the windows.
Yeah, you know, it's gonna get real nasty out here, man. You know, the brother Samak and I always talk about it, like these local mayors and governors and shit like that, a lot of them are going to end up getting caught up. You know, the lower level ones, not, you know, maybe not the presidents and senators and all of that, you know, but the lower level ones, these lower mayors and governors and sheriffs, man, a lot of, hey, we come into a time here in America, again, not something that overseas, but here in America, you're gonna start seeing your local leaders, local mayors and governors and law enforcement get dragged out into the streets and get put to death by the civilians, man. It's coming to that point, okay? And what's that gonna lead to? That's gonna lead to the federal government, okay, Donald Trump and his whole posse and whoever is in office to come down with that force, man. Come down with military force, man. Okay? And there's gonna be division there. You're gonna have some of them that's gonna be like, all right, yeah, we gotta do this, you know, to bring law and order. But then some of them gonna be like, nah, I don't wanna do this to, you know, fellow U.S. citizens. So that's gonna lead to division. Okay? This is where we are, man. This is where we are. Okay? The time is at hand.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. That's martial law.
That's martial law. So they're gonna lock the cities down,
Yep.
have curfews, checkpoints. You're gonna have to be ID'd.
Yep.
You know, where are you going? How long are you gonna be there? Are you allowed to be there?
They're doing that now, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hey, we're very, very, very close. Okay, we're very close, man. This is not. We don't got much more time here, man. Okay.
This is verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
The houses, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses destroyed, and men shall be afraid, man. Okay, which we saw. What did they do in Chicago, man? They raided that building looking for so-called, you know, criminals, and then they dragged everybody outside their crib in the middle of the night, yo. Children, women, and all, man. They said F the kids, man. They didn't give a fuck, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Think more situations are gonna happen, man. They're gonna be breaking into people's houses, military, okay, to help subdue and control the violence that really the powers that we are partially responsible for allowing to ferment in Babylon the Great. That's where we are, man. Okay, the time is at hand, man. I'm gonna say it again, we do not have much time left, man. Okay? We do not have much time left. Okay, there's gonna be more restrictions on what they call freedom of speech. That's been talked about more, man. Okay? You know, I believe, what was it, the FBI or the CIA, one of those different organizations, okay, are getting ready to use surveillance technology to start scrubbing the internet for what people are saying, man. You know, whether it be on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, people, you know, having the internet scrub to see what side of the line they fall on. What are their opinions about the government, about the times that we're living in? Are they compliant or are they speaking against them? When you go on social media and stuff, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, people are airing the government out, man. And airing Esau dirty laundry out left and right, man. Jake, Esau, heathens just letting Esau have it, man. And letting this current government and power structure have it. Okay, they don't care. They got their face all in the camera. They bringing up the receipts, showing you the act, you know, showing you the article, when it was published, when they did this and that and the third, man.
Is this the man?
You know, so here we are, man. We are at that point in time, man. And don't think that we're not gonna be associated with that too, man. Because guess what? YouTube is a form of social media. It's a form of social media, man. Brothers be posting different articles and headlines. We be putting up these videos, our face all in the camera. Okay, you know. So What do you think when they start scrubbing in? You think they're not gonna catch, be able to find our accounts? Remember during the C-19, if you said certain things, just your page got struck sometimes within hours, or within minutes of you putting up a video talking about, herbs and health and prayer, instead of taking the vaccine, boom, misinformation. Within minutes or hours.
But don't it supposed to be freedom of speech?
That's done, man. Cruel Lord, man. The scriptures talk about how he will make a man an offender for a word. And we are at the end, man.
Yeah.
All right. Expect things to get more and more intense, man. Okay. More and more strict, more and more stringent, man. This is not a time to be getting too fucking comfortable, man. All right. The scriptures say, "Be ye as pilgrims," man. They pulled them niggas out their crib. Okay?
Yep.
All right? Unawares. They didn't give them no warning. Just rolled up.
Right. Y'all, did y'all fight back?
Throwing stuff out their crib. And scriptures talk about that as well, man.
Yep.
Spoiling their houses and their goods.
Right.
Okay? So be ready for that, brothers. Okay?
Yep. Second Ezra 15, verse 19. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Because, the love of many shall wax cold.
Mm-hmm.
When goods has been taken away from you, hey, survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Right. So with all these tariffs, that's making the price of goods go up, Then on top of that, you got a lot of these farmers, they're being, exiled of the system. They can't grow their crops, man.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a lot of their workers being deported, so the crops are not being harvested.
Mm-hmm.
You got weather disasters that's causing effects, so it's gonna be lack of food, man. And you got mass recalls, man, on water and food, and because of E. coli or salmonella or something like that. That's been happening a lot, over the past few years. A lot of recalls, man. You got shrinkflation, inflation, the price of the dollar, or the value of the dollar is not going as far, man. So what do you think is gonna happen, man? People gonna start rioting, man. But I'll say this: you got a lot of people that are getting the sense that maybe the powers that be, the elites are trying to goad them or coax them into a civil war, and they're like, nah, let's just get together and try to figure something out from within rather than try to fight against the government. Well, guess what? They already know that, man. Okay? They already know that people more than likely will try to adapt and, cut their losses and try to, live not so much above their means. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna start shutting power grids off. Okay? All right? People gonna go without lights, without water. And they'll probably blame it on a cyber attack or some shit like that.
Bro, electricity is winter coming up.
Right. Without electricity, ain't no winter, people can't cook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go to the grocery store. All this stuff, bro. What you mean people gonna start rioting, they gonna start breaking each other's shit.
You can't put the heater on.
Yeah.
Dark winter. While the cruel Lord is in power.
Right. So it's getting like that, man. I did want to bring out some more of this article.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is Donald. It says it's from abcnews.gov. So this ain't Al Jazeera or something. Okay, abcnews.go.com politics. Right. It says Trump says he considered invoking the Insurrection Act. What does that mean? All right. This came out October 7th, 2025. President Donald Trump says he considered declaring an insurrection inside the United States, accusing Democratic governors and mayors of preventing the federal government from enforcing immigration laws and turning their cities into war zones. Okay? So he said, hey man, you Democratic states and cities, man, y'all not allowing us to get these immigrants out of here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all making it hard, man. So if I need to, hey, I'll declare this shit an insurrection and I'll do what I gotta do. It says Chicago is a great city where there's a lot of crime. Trump told reporters on Tuesday And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. So he said, hey, if you can't handle it, I'll handle it, man. So he moving on some boss time, man. He like, I'll run this shit, man. If you can't handle it, I'm gonna step in and do what I gotta do, man. Okay? Now, which is funny because you got a lot of these MAGA supporters there, you know, they're for it, they're cheering it on, you know, do what you gotta do, you know. They're making the country a better place. But guess what? Once those troops go in, they ain't leaving. Get that? And I was going into that at camp recently. When we went to camp on Tuesday, and then also, I think I mentioned it on Saturday too. A lot of you white Americans, man, y'all really think the U.S. government is for you, all right? And y'all cheering it on with, you MAGA supporters, man, not knowing that these troops are being put in position not only to get Jake out the way and to take care of Jake, but also put them in position to come after you too, man. Okay? Because y'all looked at as violent too. Okay? Y'all looked at as a potential threat too. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of you are for the Constitution, and outspoken about certain things that the elites and the powers that be want. They're gonna come for you too, man. Okay? Y'all are just as upset about the lack of jobs as Jake. Y'all are just as upset as the price of living going up as Jake. Okay, so they're looking at you as a potential threat too. Okay. All right. And this is going back to the article. It says Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. Trump told reporters on Tuesday, and if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple. Invoking the Insurrection Act would unfurl extraordinary presidential powers to use military force in American cities in a manner not used since the Civil Rights Movement. Okay, it also would potentially pit troops from a southern Republican-run state against northern Democratic-run cities and states. For some 200 National Guard troops from Texas were preparing to deploy to Chicago this week. Administration officials told a federal judge this week, who agreed not to block the deployment for now. So what it's saying is that, depending on how it goes, it can sow even more division than already was, because you're gonna have some people that's against it, some states and cities that's against it, and some states and cities that's for it, man. Okay, so that's again going back to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, man. All right, they shall not regard their kings or princes, man. So again, we're in that time, man. Egyptian versus Egyptian, if you could get that in the Isaiah 19th chapter. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we're at the end, man. Okay.
This is Isaiah 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Yeah, these Americans going against each other. These Edomites going against each other. These American citizens, they mad at each other.
Yeah.
All right. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That's right. Okay. I'm gonna read that. If I get it out in the NLT.
NLT.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2 in the NLT. And I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city,
city against city,
province against
province against province. So states against this state against this state, this city against this city.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's gonna come down on that level. Civil war is coming, man.
Yep.
All right. What does Scripture say about civil war, man? If you get Satan's house divided.
Come on. This is Mark chapter 3, verse 23, starting at verse 23. He called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
But hath an end. Okay. All right, now get that in well, matter of fact,
NLT?
yeah, if you can bring it out in LT.
Man, this is Mark chapter 3, verse 23. Yahweh Shah called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan? He asked. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse.
Will collapse. You see that? Go ahead.
Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart.
Will fall apart.
And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He would never survive.
Right. Exactly, man. So that's where we are, man. This is the end of Esau's kingdom that we're seeing, man. All right, and I always like to make the analogy when you look throughout the different empires, you know, the scriptures talk about, like the Assyrian Empire. Okay, what led to the transition between the Assyrian and to the Babylonian Empire was a civil war. Okay, all right, you had Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar. They wanted to, you know, move the capital to Babylon, and they overthrew the current power structure. All right, there was different dissensions and disputes, and they eventually overthrew the Assyrian kings and moved the capital to Babylon, man, and eventually became the Neo-Babylonian Empire. All right, and eventually that led to, you know, the Persian Empire. Eventually the Medes and the Persians rose up against Babylon. They were once provinces of Babylon. Okay, and they overthrew the Babylonian Empire, and they led to the Persian Empire. Same thing with Persia to Greece, man. You had Persia, they had certain rulers that they set up, you know, in the Greek mainland to govern and to make sure that those Greek mainlands and the peninsula was paying their taxes, okay, and their tributes, all right, and eventually they rose up against the Persian Empire. You know, there was disputes, and then that led to the Persian Empire eventually later down the line being overthrown by the Greek Empire, okay, and so on and so forth. This has always happened, okay, this has always happened, man. So what do you think is happening now, man?
Yep.
All this division and this dissension, man. And I remember a few years ago, man, there was a headline. I forget. I'm not sure if it was Times Magazine, but it had Donald Trump, and it said the divided states of America.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find that. Okay, on the front of the article. Okay, I don't know if it was Times or something like that, but you know, that's the sentiment that's been pushed out over the past 8, 10, 12 years of division.
Yep. Okay.
You know, inner turmoil, inner strife within the United States. And the world is seeing this shit too, man. The Russians are seeing this shit, Africa, the Chinese, you know. So the world is looking at America like, oh, they see, look at them. They can't keep themselves together. Why should we trust them to govern and dictate the laws of the world, man? Why should they be looked at as the leader of this world? You know? Okay, even the American people can't stand their government. See? You see? Okay?
These are Americans, they fed up.
Right.
Precept.
Right.
The second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So Esau is Edom, the so-called white man. They're in rulership right now. All right, and their world is about to come to an end. All right, their current age. Okay, better is the end of the thing. Like the scripture said, Satan will come to an end, right? Well, who is the physical counterpart of the spiritual being? Satan. Who is Satan's children? Who? That's Esau, Edom. They just the children of the wicked, the sons of the wicked.
I found it too. This is from Time Magazine a few years ago. Trump was the person of the year. This was like back in like the 2010s era. You know, person of the year said Donald Trump, president of the divided states of America, on the front of Time Magazine, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So that sentiment of division has been for, you know, going on for years, man.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And a lot of people who once supported DJ Trump when he first got in office, when they was voting for him and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're against it.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're against it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, we don't really give. I have to say this because a lot of people watch our videos and they might misinterpret a lot of things that we're saying. Like we don't care about the left versus the right. We don't really care about so much of the politics. We just know that this is all really symptoms of the Bible, what the Bible's talking about in the last days, what happened, man.
Yeah.
Okay, the downfall of this wicked kingdom, the division is being set. Okay, the downfall of our enemies, and we're rejoicing at it because we know that Yahushua is getting ready to come back and deliver us, man. Okay, all right, and we're really living on an any day basis now, man. I don't think this year is gonna go out with a bang, man.
It started with a bang.
It started with a bang. It's gonna go out with a bang, man.
Yeah, it started with a bang, bro.
Okay, all right, because it's like every week is something else, man.
Yeah.
Government shutdown, and what's going on in Chicago, and more of these things are happening, man. More people are just getting, ran up on by ICE agents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being separated from their children and families. This is gonna lead to some shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Quick precept. It's Psalms 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in man. And a lot of you people, you put your trust in the government. You put your trust in Egypt, spiritual America. Look at you now. Lamenting, crying.
Mm-hmm.
You see? The government don't care about you. They never did care about you.
Right. Yeah.
But we're going to put our trust in Yahweh Bashim Shah.
Exactly, man. All right. Okay, if you get Second Ezra chapter 16, okay, because that word insurrection also comes, comes up in the Bible too. All right, if you can get a burning wrath of the great multitude, I think that's like around 7 verse 60 something.
Yep. It's Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. They shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Right. Okay. So this is going into Jacob's trouble, man. All right. When you hear about crimes in the city, they're talking about you niggas, man.
Yeah.
Okay. They're talking about y'all. All right. But you got individuals saying that ain't no Jacob's trouble. Well, how do you explain what's happening, man? All right, they said they was going after the northern tribe, Venezuelans and Mexicans, but then they got on you niggas, man. Without any apology, no explanation. They didn't care. They said, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
They'll pull you right out your home, man.
Yeah.
Take you to some detention center. They don't care, man.
And you still got Jake trying to stay in Esau.
Wow. That's crazy, man. All right, but y'all get ready to find out that this man is really your enemy, man. Okay? Read that again.
God, the Second Ezra 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Right, so we're getting ready to see a lot more people, get carted off to concentration camps or detention centers.
Right.
Okay? All right, again, they already got this AI set up, man. You talking about against the government, you talking against the current administration, you're speaking what they call conspiracy theories, okay? You're pro-constitution, you're a Hebrew Israelite, or whatever, you believe in the Bible, they're gonna come after you, man, okay? You don't like the way the country's being run, they will come after you, man. Okay? But specifically, really brought this scripture out for Jake, man, and for brothers, man. Understand what we are part of, man. All right, we may very well be approached within these next couple months, next couple years, weeks, days.
We're in that time.
We're really in that time, man. We are really in that time, man. Okay? Especially now they got all this AI that can make it look like you did or said something. They got Michael Jackson with eating fried chicken or some shit.
They act like a weirdo.
You know? They,
Fuck.
you know, they got, what was it? What was it? Michael Jordan or was that Kobe they had in the AI?
Kobe.
You see?
Yeah.
Tupac, like,
Biggie.
you know, they had, it was one the brother put in the chat, they made it look like Jake was rapping in the courtroom. You know,
Oh, yeah,
it was an
yeah,
AI
yeah.
that made it look like Jake was rapping in the courtroom before a judge.
It seemed real.
It seemed real, but it wasn't. So
It
they can do stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
Don't think that they won't, and they don't have the ability to do it. Because guess what? They already got our faces
Yeah.
all up on the camera. They got our facial expressions. You know, sometimes when you look at the camera, you see it kind of zooming in on you a little
Oh
bit,
yeah,
with a little circle,
with the little square.
the little circle with square
Yeah,
icon, and the light start changing.
Yeah.
They already know that, you know, your speech patterns.
All that.
You know, brothers' mannerisms, brothers' body language and shit.
Yeah.
The inflections in your voice to make it look and say, you know, something that you didn't do, you know, make it look convincing,
Yeah.
you know. They got AI making remixes of songs.
Yeah, bro.
Like a Usher song to make it sound like it came out in the 1950s.
Bro, AI made beats.
You know? Making songs between artists, you know, this artist featuring this artist, and they give it the song a name, but the song ain't never come out. That's not even real. Make a music video and
Yeah.
all. You know, you thinking, oh wow, you know they dropped no, it's AI.
Right. And I want to say, bro, a lot of these artists, they're not making money like that.
Right.
So they turn into podcasters
Mhm.
and doing streaming.
Yeah,
Because a lot of these rappers and artists, they broke.
yeah. So now what, man? Okay, they can make it seem you did something, you didn't do something, man.
Yep.
Make it seem like you said something you didn't say. And they just roll up on you at your job. Okay?
Yeah.
Or roll up on you in the middle of the night in your crib, or bust open the door, pull you out your crib, man, and you in your pajamas, man. You know, as Brother Samach always say this, man, sleep with clothes on, man. Don't be sleeping in your drawers, and you know, sleep with some pajamas or some
Yeah.
shorts on or something.
Right.
You know, put a tank top on or something. You
Yeah.
know, cause they'll roll on your ass, man.
Usually around like 2 and 3 a.m.
3 a.m. when you in that deep REM sleep and shit.
Which 3 a.m. is the witch hour, according to,
The witches,
Yeah.
you know.
hence Eminem has a song called 3 a.m. He's in a straight jacket, and I think in the cemetery, in the woods, just bugging out.
Right.
That's the witch hour.
Yeah, man. So prepare to be approached, man. All right. You know, brothers in the truth. You know, different people associated with the prophets. You know, sisters, wives. Yeah, it's coming down to that hour, man. And that's why Elder Malcolm always says this. He always says this, man. He always salutes to brothers who are risking their lives and freedom to do so, man.
That's right.
Okay? This whole honky-dory fucking regular everyday routine shit,
Yeah.
don't get too fucking comfortable, man. Do not get too comfortable, man. Who came up with that song? Future came up with that song. He said, "Bitch, don't get too comfortable, man. Don't get too comfortable." And guess what? Yeah, Howard Shaw said it first, man.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna be betrayed of friends and brethren. You know, you're gonna be
Parents.
their parents. You know, they're gonna imprison you.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna be separated from men. They're gonna hate you. They're gonna lie on you.
Yep.
You know, the scriptures already said, "Be ye as pilgrims upon the earth, man." You know, you might be separated from brothers. You might be separated from your family. You know, from your significant other. You know, consider all these things, man. All right, that we are in those times, man. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Yahweh Shah warned of these things for a reason, man. So that we can understand, you know, the cost of discipleship, which is when you actually go to John, you know, I believe that's John 16 or 15, when he goes into that section, it's one of the headers usually is cost of discipleship, man. Because it comes with a cost, man. All right, it comes with something that you might have to give up. The same way you go to a grocery store, you want to buy a bag of apples, it's $1.50. You know, you gotta take $1.50 out your pocket, you know, and then you gotta give it up.
Yeah.
so that you can get the apple. You gotta lose it so you can gain.
Right.
It is what it is, man. Okay?
This is John 16, verse 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues, yea, the time cometh, and whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service.
That's right.
So Yahushua, it says Jesus warning, but his name is Yahushua. Yahushua warning. He warned the disciples.
Yeah. Oh, why did he warn them? In the NLT it says, I have told you these things so that you won't abandon your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Yahushua was giving us the rundown now. Like, I'm letting you know this so that when it happens, you don't start bugging out and tripping out, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we all got to consider, man. Okay? They got this AI ready. All right, they're ready they're ready to use this Palantir shit. They're ready to use Israeli spyware, man. You know, to tap into people's phones without their knowledge. Okay? To scrub the internet from people's social media accounts and what they've been posting online on YouTube. Okay? And we put this stuff on YouTube like every week. Brothers put out multiple videos. We at camp every week, you know, calling shit out, breaking things down, man. You know? All right? So you can guarantee they're going to come after us too, man. In the midst of all this chaos that's taking place, man. You know, they bust out a false flag or some shit and then, you know, they blame a brother in Great Millstone. You think them crackers won't do this shit, man? They definitely will. Okay?
Right, you know, and your people is gonna come up against us, against you, your own mom, your own dad, you know, your sisters, your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're gonna come up against you because they're gonna they may use AI technology to show your people's what you did, but that wasn't you.
Right. Or
You
twist
see?
your words.
Right, and it's gonna be very believable.
Right. It's gonna be very believable, man.
But the elect will not be deceived.
Right.
You see?
Right. Brothers be having to catch themselves when they share certain videos. Oh no, brother, that's AI. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, brother, look, see.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, brother, that's AI. Huh?
Yep.
You know, brothers be having to do that. You know, so that's going to show you, like scripture say, they shall seek to deceive the very elect. It's going to get to that level to where it's like, yo, well, hold on, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to, people have to check themselves real quick, like, nah. You know, because how believable this fucking psyop shit Esau get ready to do is going to be, man. All right, but you said, you know, you went into betrayal.
Uh-huh.
All right, Luke chapter 21, and, well, I started verse 10, it says, Then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven.
Pestilences, diseases,
Yeah.
plagues.
Right, which they talk about recalling, you know, certain foods and goods because of diseases and bacteria and pathogens in the food, man. You know, C-19, they talk about the C-19 coming back.
Right.
How about that, man? Okay? That's what they talk about, man.
Weird.
They talk about the C-19 coming back. And the last time they had a C-19 scare, they told the world, everybody stay in your house. Y'all, you motherfuckers out here, man, that's really be coming at us about Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptation, man. Y'all don't see the amount of power this man has and how he's willing to wield it. They ain't lived through the C-19?
They did.
Y'all lived through that shit, man. This nigga said somebody sneezed in China, so everybody stay in their house.
Wow.
Okay? Whether or not you want to believe it was this or that, you know, whatever. They said, look, everybody stay in their house, and the narrative that you talk about cannot be contrary to the narrative that we pushing on the news. If you say anything contrary to what we saying on the news, that video got to be taken out.
Yep.
That content cannot be put up on social media. That's misinformation. We're going to take that post down. We're going to block that account. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Certain places you didn't have the jab, you couldn't go. Certain places you didn't have the jab, you wasn't tested, you couldn't work at. This is the amount of power he wields, man. Again, I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm just saying, look, bro, understand that this nigga crazy, man. All right? All right, which group of people he said needed to get the jab? The most.
So-called Negroes.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to get it the most.
That was an article.
You know, that was the headline. They said
Yeah.
black. They said black, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yo. So yeah, man, it's that serious, man. We are in these times, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all acting like this shit gonna be honky dory, nigga. No, it's not, nigga. Y'all niggas need to get off the fucking comment board harassing Elder Yashawama about Jacob's trouble, man. Coming against Elder Manada Zagba about Jacob's trouble and ours. So shut the fuck up.
Right.
Stupid, be quiet, man. What about the past 4, 5, 6 years does not give you the impression that, you know, our people are in trouble?
Right.
Huh? What about the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years you've seen our people go through? You know, whether it be Democrat or Republican in office. What about the past 10 years you looked at the news and was like, our people not in trouble? Because that's not what the fuck we saw. We saw our people in trouble.
All the time.
Every 4 years, it was always something. Whether it was Democrat or Republican.
Right.
in office. It didn't matter.
Jake always in trouble.
Jake was in big trouble, man.
Always struggling.
Always struggling, getting shot on TV by the police.
All the time.
You know, getting kidnapped. You know, you had a lot of women that went missing.
Yeah.
You know, at the border detention centers, people get separated from their family and the living in squalor. They in non-hygienic situations, man. You know,
Yeah, that George Floyd incident.
George Floyd.
Trayvon Martin.
You know, riots breaking out.
Yep.
You know,
That that Black Lives Matter, that was fake.
right.
That wasn't real. You see, it came to naught. It was a myth.
You know, come on, man. The C-19, Jake was struggling. The lockdowns, Jake was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We take drastic measures. Be hungry.
Yeah.
Yo, like what about the past 5 to 10 years gave you the impression that our people not in trouble? You know?
Just willingly ignorant.
Come on, man. But anyway, going back to Luke chapter 21. All right, verse 12, it says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake."
Hey, which that happened to the disciples.
Right. Okay, and it's gonna happen to us, man. Don't think it ain't gonna happen, because it is, man. All right, it's gonna happen, man. We come into a time where we're getting ready to see brothers brought before kings and rulers, man, and it's gonna be live on TV.
Yep.
Okay. Trust and believe, man. Like I said last time we did the video last week, I said if they had cameras back during Yahweh Shai's time, the crucifixion would have been televised. So think about that. Okay. You know, all the prophets came before kings and rulers, so that's also another thing too, man. It's not something to make you afraid. It's just, again, to consider. We are in those times, man. That's why we not really into this. You see how the spirit been moving lately? Entertaining these scoffers that's out of business, man. We ain't sitting here trying to go back and forth over little petty arguments of niggas that can't get it.
The Gentiles.
No. Going back and forth with Christians and shit and vocab Malone and all that. Nah, nigga, we are at the end of the world, man. Okay? If you can't get it now, you probably not meant to get it. Okay? If you can't get it now, you probably not meant to get it. And that's just the facts.
True.
Okay? Alright? So think about it, man. Brothers, being brought before kings and rulers, man. And scripture say, don't meditate what you're going to think, what you're going to speak, man. All right? The Lord's going to give you the words if the Lord gives you the words to speak. Okay? All right, it says, verse 13, it says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist, man. Okay? So the Lord's going to give us the words to speak, man. And it's very important. The Lord said, don't even meditate what to say, because we're coming into a time where it ain't going to be much to say. What the fuck, we got much to say? No. Look, we're not going to take the mark of the beast, because the Bible says in Revelation 13 chapter, 14 chapter, if you take it, you're going to burn alive in the lake of fire. Babylon won't be the shit. We're coming into the time where the prophecies are going to be happening. It ain't going to be much time to be giving motherfuckers the breakdown.
It's going to be in your face.
It's going to be in your face. You know? Okay? They got a guillotine before you. You want to be giving them a breakdown. The Bible says those who don't worship the beast in the image going to be beheaded. Get the show on the road, nigga. The fuck?
That's something to consider.
Yeah. You know?
Consider getting your head chopped off.
Yeah, consider being cast into prison.
Yeah.
Consider being separated from your family. You know? Yeah. It's live, nigga. It's live.
We're coming in a time where people want to denounce being a Hebrew Israelite.
Right.
Which they're doing that now.
Which they doing that now.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing that now.
They doing that now.
They scared.
You got men that have been pushing Israel for the longest, switching up like pillars of the doctrine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like switching up on pillars and found like fundamentals of the doctrine are being twisted and misconstrued and just thrown out the window, man. Talking about a war not an Edomite in 2025, nigga. How the fuck you gonna say? How the fuck you gonna tell your people not to hate Esau in 2025 and he got a boot on their neck right now, man?
Diabolical.
That's diabolical, bitch. That's wicked as fuck.
Crazy, bro.
So they not supposed to hate Esau, nigga? This nigga done baited them
Right.
to flee their countries that he helped destabilize, to come over here to America for work and residency. Then flip the switch on their ass and say, we immigrating all you niggas. But they're not supposed to hate him, though. Now, that doesn't mean they ain't supposed, they supposed to be violent, but they can at least not like the nigga.
Right. But they have something to say about the true prophets.
You know? You telling they can't even not like Esau? Because that's what the word hate means. It means to have a strong dislike. So we can't dislike Esau. So individuals, all that to say this, individuals of that ilk and caliber are getting ready to denounce being a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
Okay? You had Alazar, the high priest, okay, got caught up in a scandal and then now he's back crippin'. He ain't never left the streets, nigga. You know? I said, I've been doing dirt. Now I'm talking about all this other bullshit.
Off.
You know? So, yeah, man. Hey, we in those times, man. Okay? I got some more. It says, verse 16, Luke 21 and 16, it says, and ye shall be betrayed both of parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. You understand? So it's going to get so bad, the tension's going to be so high, that they're going to say, even though we blood relatives, and I know you, kill him.
What's the love of God, though?
That's done. Don't even consider. The love of many waxing cold.
That's true.
Don't even put
Right.
that in there.
Yeah.
That's not even, no.
Yeah.
We love the Lord.
Right.
They don't love the Lord.
Yeah. Big mama don't love the Lord.
You know, you understand? Your favorite auntie, your coworker, your best friend, whatever, man.
Right.
You know? All right, don't be like, hey, even though X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
All right? let's read some more. It says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not an hair of your head perish, and your patience possessing your souls," man. Okay, so the Lord gonna be with us. You know, the Lord gonna protect us in a lot of situations, but then also in some situations too. All right, we're gonna have to be faithful unto death, man. Okay, the times we coming into are gonna be bittersweet. All right, now granted, it's gonna be a lot more sweet for us than bitter in comparison to the people out there in the world, but it's still gonna be bittersweet though. It's gonna be just straight bitter for these people in the world, but for us, it's gonna be bittersweet. So we gotta consider, man. It means it's gonna be laughing and you know, happy all the way through. Not certain shit gonna hurt. You know, a brother you fond of, you see him get beheaded. You know what I'm saying, on news. Tears gonna be rolling down. Yep. Okay. They grab you out your crib, body slam you, some shit, tase you, whatever. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Family betraying you. You know, people thought you could trust turning against you or whatever. You know, it's gonna sting, but at the end of the day, the Lord's still gonna be keeping us. We just gotta make sure that we keep the patience and faith of the saints, man. Okay? Because this ain't gonna be an easy road. It's gonna come with its tribulation, man.
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to bring all of that out because you was going into, you know, how they could use AI, you know, to make it look like you did something you ain't do.
Right.
Which I remember the video, because brothers put the video in the chat about how they made it look like the police officer trying to chase a Chucky doll. You know, and everybody was like laughing, that's funny, And then the person who posted the video up was like, or commented on the video, because you know you have some people that post videos, or they'll find a video on the internet and then they'll post it up on their page and then they'll comment on it or whatever at the same time, right? And so he was like, oh, y'all laughing in the comment board, y'all laughing like, this is funny. Well, what happens when they use this technology against you and they close the video? Ain't gonna be so much funny then, right? Ain't gonna be look, I gave it look like Michael Jackson, Biggie, Tupac, no, it's gonna be used against you.
Now what?
Now what? Okay. They got AI war machines. That could just execute orders, you know, without having to go through the red tape or nothing. They just plug in some data into AI. AI track your ass down to whatever building you at, wherever you at, just pound. Snipe your ass. Done.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, lock down the whole city to get you. The scripture say you shall. That's something to consider, man. What the fuck is coming down the pipe that's gonna make people hate us on that level? Because we ain't do shit.
You're right.
We ain't do shit. We just been reading out the scriptures.
Why y'all hate us so much?
You know?
Right.
But it's gonna come to that level to where, hey, people gonna be looking at us like we public enemy number one, man. Motherfuckers who saying we manifesting Jacob's trouble, man. You know? They said we manifested Jacob's trouble. So what, you think it's outside of the question for them to be like, oh, this is your fault? We telling them that the God of the Bible is the one that's bringing all these plagues, man. And that we're happy and excited to see it happen.
Yeah.
So they're going to associate us with the problem. They're going to be like, oh, it's their fault. It's your God. You got to get him out the way. Okay? Get them out the way. So yeah, we're here. You know, the time is at hand. Count the cost. Everybody, man. Okay? What you got, bro?
It's the book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 3. As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering into every house and hauling men and women, committed them to prison.
Men and women. All right, so Saul, before he became the Apostle Paul, he was working really like as a bounty hunter and a hitman for the high priest, man. They used to send him on certain jobs. Hey, we got a report that house is harboring disciples of Yahushua. Go get them.
Yep.
You know, and he will come with his bands of troops, and they will bust in people's doors and drag believers, men and women, out of their houses, man. Okay, by force, not compliantly. Oh, you know, you can come with us. You know, just be nonviolent. We're gonna play it. We're gonna act this out.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, we ain't gonna do
No.
nothing to you. You know, just comply. You know, if you just come peaceful, no, nah, but bust it in, grab you, all of that. It's like, you know, men and women. You know, so it's that serious, man.
They said up the kids, right?
Right? They said fuck them kids, man.
How much more the grown up?
Bro, exactly. And the scriptures say that he has no mercy on the young or old, man.
Right.
You know? Alright? So consider that, man. And bro, I told Ash the other day, you know, because we went to camp on Tuesday, you know, before, you know, when he was paying for parking and stuff like that, me and Ash was talking about what had happened and how we saw the headline and the videos, and they had that little baby, the little baby Jake, with, you know, with their hand behind their backs with the zip ties, man. I said, yo, bruh, I had to like, cause I'm being real, like, I had to like catch my emotions real quick, like, yo, like, the fuck, that's really fucked up, yo.
Yep.
You know, but this, you know, the spirit and the scriptures had to catch up, like, yo, like, hey, this is what the scriptures say, you know, let them cry be heard from their houses,
Yeah.
let their wives be bereaved of children and be widows, and, you know, so get it together, you know. I had to like, nah, the scriptures say this is what it is, man. But that's gonna be a part of the test too, man. Understanding not to be overly emotional, man. When these things begin to happen, man, because it's going the shit that's coming down the pike is gonna start pulling at people emotions, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why Yahweh Shai said, "Blessed is he whosoever is not offended in me." That's why Yahweh Shai said, "Count the cost." That's why, man. Cause shit gonna be tugging at your emotions, man. You're gonna be wanting to react a certain way, but you ain't gonna be able to react that way. You know? All right? You ain't gonna be it. You're gonna have to wait on the Lord. You're gonna have to operate in meekness. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, remember when they pulled up on you, Yahweh Shai, Peter pulled out his sword and said, "Sweet." Yahweh Shai said, "Yo, calm down, bro. We're gonna have to show that level of integrity, man." Okay? Straight up, man. It's heavy, man. You know, it's really heavy, man. Hey, they was telling men and women, man. You women, sisters out there that's connected, you know, and associated with brothers, consider what the scripture's talking about. Okay.
This is the book of Acts 14, verse 22.
We all gotta go to the straight gate. The straight gate is how you say gender neutral.
Yeah.
Gender neutral unisex. The straight gate is gender neutral unisex.
No respect to person.
No respect to persons. It don't got no age restriction on it, nothing. Everybody who believe gonna go through that straight gate if you want to make it to the kingdom.
Acts 14.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, much tribulation, man. We gotta go through much tribulation, and again, the Lord's gonna lift up the standard, man. But I remember I did a video maybe about a year or so ago. I said, "You want miracles? Are you willing to go through the straight gate first, man?" Okay. And I did multiple videos going into how the straight gate is the breeding ground for miracles. So a lot of the miracles that we're getting ready to see the Lord perform is going to be through us going through difficult situations, man.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's going to be, you know, chilling. Nah. Shit.
Oh, man.
Nah, bro. The enemy going to come in like a flood. They're going to break through into your houses. And you know, scripture say, some of you shall be cast into prison. You know, and it's gonna be in situations like that where it's chaotic and tumultuous and you know, uncertain in the flesh. That's when the Lord gonna step in and show the miracles. But we gotta be willing to endure hardships, man, endure uncomfortable and hurt. It hurt and you don't like it and it sucks and you angry, you upset and then you sad. You gonna have to endure some of that shit in order for and keep your faith, and that's when the Lord in a lot of situations gonna come in, man, and step in, man. Okay.
Right. Which
This shit ain't we ain't for the cute, nigga. This is not This shit ain't for people trying to be cute, man. It's not for that, dog.
This from the rough
Yeah, man. It's gonna be rough.
men.
Okay? The Lord did not bring us in this truth to be cute.
The scripture say, gird up.
Exactly, man. It's a war, man.
It's a war. Which the Lord be showing us, the Lord be helping us out now. He be showing us different miracles, small miracles now.
Right.
And we have faith in them. He get us out of different situations now.
Right.
So when we in a big jam, we look back on how the Lord was delivering us from, these small jams, which are big, and we trust in the Lord that He's going to deliver us from these big jams.
Right, right.
To build up our faith, man.
Right.
So we must stay in prayer too as well.
There, gotta stay in prayer. Yes, absolutely. Yep. And Yahweh Shai taught that, man. Yahweh Shai told his disciples, watch and pray. All right, let's see enter into temptation, man. So in these times, prayer is very, very important, man. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We ain't got it. The Lord got it. And we gotta understand that and demonstrate that through a prayerful approach. Okay, a prayerful approach to the times that we're heading into, man. Okay? All right, we gonna be in situations. You're gonna be crying out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, you're gonna be crying out. How about Yahweh Shai? Yep. Okay? You ain't gonna know where this brother is. Where that brother is. You ain't gonna be able to pick up the phone and call your boo. It's just like that. It's really like that. It's just for real talk, man.
Yeah.
So hey, just again, man, the time is at hand. Keep the faith, stay in prayer, count the cost, man. And trust in the Lord, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Things are about to go live. Things are about to get very, very real. Okay. The fact that they're even talking about this whole Trump is considering the Insurrection Act. That means that we're fucking close.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's so many things happening, man. Okay. So many things happening. All right. But the elites of Esau, they know that hey, we here. They know they here.
Yeah.
They understand. So that means that they understand, we better understand more.
Yeah.
Okay? Any day now, things can change drastically. All right? All this gradualism shit Esau been doing, that's going out the window. Scripture say he coming down and have a great wrath, man.
Right.
Okay? Knowing that he had but a short time. Get 2 Ezra 16, read the rest of that.
Go on. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginnings of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Jump down to a burning wrath.
Oh, that one, okay. The 2 Ezra 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols.
Mm-hmm. Right, so they're gonna come in and grab the regular everyday citizen up. They're gonna come after you, Jakes, and they're also gonna come up against us, man. Trying to arrest us and detain us, imprison us, okay, and try to coerce us to, take the MOTB in certain situations, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which that's not far away, man. They got that digital ID mandatory over there in Europe, man. Okay, so what makes you think it's not coming here to America, man? Our scriptures call scriptures say your mother shall be sore confounded. So America comes out of Europe, man. It comes out of Great Britain, man. So what the fuck, if they doing that shit over there, you think it's not coming over here? You think they ain't gonna do that? All right.
Verse 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none,
Right.
but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Right. Those that fear the Lord. That's right. Okay. So it's going to come to a point where the target is mainly on our back, man.
Yep.
Okay. Which is really bait, because the Lord is really baiting Esau to jack his shit up.
Right.
Okay. All right. Because when you come up against the men of the Lord is going to lift up a standard. Okay, but understand that we will be targeted. Okay, and we're gonna have to go through some things, man. All right, people trying to question us, interrogate us. See, the scriptures. This a lot of scriptures say what it says, man. It says talks about being partakers of Yahweh's sufferings, man. Okay, being partakers of Yahweh's sufferings. When that was being written, it wasn't talking about your car troubles, man.
Right.
And your rent, your little financial issues, man. Okay? All right? Or your situations at work or whatever, these little petty, minor inconveniences. That's not what it was talking about, man. Okay? That's why it says Yahweh's sufferings. When we read about Yahweh's sufferings, what did he go through, man? Okay? From the time he was being conceived in his mother's womb and getting ready to be born, people was gunning for his life, man. They were trying to kill him as a baby.
Right.
He was on the run, him and his family.
An infant.
As an infant. Okay? That's the Yahweh's suffering, so we gotta consider. We're gonna be on the run. Because people gonna be trying to kill us.
Mary was on the run.
Joseph was on the run.
Yeah.
Because people trying to kill them. Okay? So they were moving in haste.
Yeah.
All right? All right? So there's that. What else? People was trying to spy on him.
Yeah.
People was lying on him. Okay? You know? And they had power to not only lie on him, but actually use those lies to do physical harm to him, man. Okay?
Right.
There's been many times he had to duck and dodge stonings and people trying to push him off a cliff in a mountain, man.
They beat him up, so he felt the pain.
So they beat him up. They arrested him.
Yeah.
You think when they arrested him, they was just, you know, walking hand in hand with him? No, you can guarantee it was pushing him around,
Yeah.
kicking him down, slapping him up.
Yeah.
You know, probably putting him in a body lock chokehold type shit.
And he about to, like, you know, give up the breath, but he let him go.
Right.
You know.
Spit on him.
Right.
You know, brought false witness, interrogated him, sent him to Herod, sent him to Ananias, sent him to Caiaphas,
Right.
asking him different questions, bringing forth false witnesses and shit.
Yep.
You know, those are Yahweh's sufferings, man. Being mutilated, physically mishandled.
Beard being plucked out.
Yeah.
How somebody pluck out your beard?
You know, so these are things to consider, man. These are things to consider. And ultimately, they publicly humiliated him and then had him crucified, man. Had him put to death, man.
He had to carry the cross
and all of that.
belt.
Yeah, so with, you know, we not gonna go through the exact same thing of what Yahweh went through. Okay, but we're gonna go through similar things, you know, to be considered, man. All right, so yeah, we are in those times, my brothers. Okay, don't think it won't happen to you. Don't think it can't happen to you. Don't think that if it happened, it's gonna just be comfortable. No, the fuck it ain't. You know, you're gonna have to snap into it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Pray.
you and your family, your little ones, your wife, You know, y'all had a great night or something.
Mhm.
You know, chilling at the crib. You going to sleep. Next thing you wake up to the sound of boom. You know, gun in your face type shit. It's gonna be like that. It's like that. It's like when the brothers from New Orleans came down. We was talking about how there was rumors and reports of them fucking detaining immigrants and just kicking them off the plane.
Oh yeah.
What was the main phrase we was saying? It's like that. You know, it's about to get like that, man. You know, it's like that. You know, they gonna be pulling you out your crib in your pajamas and shit. You know, separating you from your family or whatever, detaining you, imprisoning you, taking you to a location you don't even know. They ask you all type of questions, and you in that hyper emotional state, like damn, you gonna have to snap into it.
A standard may be lifted up
Right
then and
there.
or not.
Or not, but you gonna have to snap into it though.
Right.
You gonna have to snap into it, bro.
Yep.
Because if you don't, and you just let your emotions run while hey, you put yourself in a position to fucking fold, man, and then the Lord ain't gonna defend you.
Right.
Because you lost patience, man. Okay? So we're gonna have to snap into it, lock in, you know, gird up, you know.
Real life.
Real life, man, for real. For real. Again, we ain't saying this to make you scared. We just let you know what the Bible talking about, y'all. Because this shit, hey, we in some very interesting times, man. It ain't going back. All right, which is another thing me and Ash was talking about too at the beach before we started camp. You know, the way Esau is moving right now, how he got boot on neck right now, how he got his foot on the gas right now. He knows he can't take his foot off the gas. He can't revert what this Trump administration has done within the first 10 months of him being back in office. Ain't no reversing that shit. They can't backpedal on that shit.
Nah.
The type of vibration Esau is in right now, and the amount of hatred and people calling him out on his shit that people have done over the past few months, we had a point of no return, and they know it. They know it. Esau knows it. These regular Edomites know it. The upper level Edomites and the elites, they know that. So it ain't no going back on shit. They're coming with the smoke.
Full force. With that sword. Hey.
Okay?
Part of prophecy.
Right, exactly. Cause he knows how he looks. He just don't care. But the thing is, if he was to back up and try to backpedal, it's gonna make him look even worse.
Yep.
You know? So now he has to just stick his chest out, man. And be like, fuck it, we here.
Yeah.
This what time on. What's up? Okay? But read the rest of that.
Oh, it's like Esdras.
Mm-hmm.
Get it real quick. Second Esdras chapter 16, verse let's see, verse 69, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Right, so they're not gonna care. They're not gonna come peaceably.
Right.
They're coming with violence, man. Okay? The last one standing, and for all these people that's speaking up against, you know, the government, a lot of you individuals and pointing out certain things, we use them as reference points. A lot of you going forward, man. When you're not able to eat at all, okay? All right, and they make that chip mandatory. A lot of y'all gonna fold. Y'all gonna go from being outspoken and an activist and a reporter and all that. Y'all gonna go and switch sides quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when a bullet is pointed to your head, you know, a gun is pointed to your head. Okay, go ahead, bro.
This is verse 72. They shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Right. Okay. So you know, brothers' house is gonna be broken into. You know, it says it.
Yeah.
They shall cast them out of their houses middle of the night.
Yep.
Okay? On your ass. You know, but the Lord did say that he gonna be with us, man. Then shall it be known who are my chosen, man. Okay? The same chapter goes into days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Okay, so when these things happen, it's not a time to panic. Okay, we're gonna have to hold it together, man.
Yep.
Okay? All right, and Yahweh Shah was a perfect example of that, man. All right, and the example that he left, he was constantly thinking about what he was getting ready to have to suffer. He was always talking to his disciples about it, trying to let them know, but they didn't get it. You know, they didn't understand at the time. You know, but he was like, look, I'm gonna have to go through this and this and that and the third.
He considered it.
But he was considering it. You know, he knew what time it was, man. And how did he respond? He was praying. You know, praying for the Lord, you know, to give him the strength to endure, you know, praying for deliverance, praying to submit to the Lord's will, you know. So that's the example we gotta follow too. Okay? So, you know, that's it.
Yep.
Lord willing was edifying, you know. Yeah. Yeah, man. We at the end, man. It's very exciting times, man. And hey, just know, man, no matter what happens, man, we on the winning team too, man. That's another thing as well. You know, we got a lot of people out there that's starting to doubt and shit and have second thoughts about this truth, man. You better get off that bullshit. Okay?
Pray.
You better pray, man. Because it doesn't matter whether we are in prison or whether we gotta be martyrs or whatever. Okay? Separated from our families or whatever, or have our names smeared through the mud. That's not the crown. The crown is with Yahweh Shai being crowned at his return, man. And no matter what the fuck these devils do, because the prophecies are still gonna come to pass regardless. Okay? So it don't matter amount of slander and witchcraft that this nigga do. Babylon's still gonna be destroyed according to the Bible. America's gonna be destroyed according to the scriptures, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities, because they went after strange flesh, man. Okay? All right? You know, the scriptures talk about how Esau pursued his brother Jacob with the sword. Therefore will I kindle a fire upon Edom that shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. That's in Amos, the first chapter, man. So Esau's judgment is already sealed, man. So fuck him, man. All right, fuck how we look, fuck how we feel about shit, fuck all that, man. Okay? It don't matter, man. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what he does, you know, what he say he gonna do, what we gotta go through, you know. As long as we keep the faith, just know that the will of the Lord is gonna stand.
Right.
Okay? So now's not the time to be having second guesses. Okay? Nah, just ride this out and keep the faith, man. Because at the end of the day, when Yahweh Shah comes back, we want to be found on a winning team, which we are. If we keep the faith, we're gonna be on the winning team. So focus on keeping the faith. But if you focusing on having second guesses and shit like that and doubting, you liable to not keep the faith and be found on the losing team. Okay? So just remember that, and fuck what Esau is getting ready to do, man. They detain us, so fucking be it. They lie on us, so fucking be it. That's the type of mentality you gotta have. You gotta have. Fuck it. The scripture says it was gonna happen. It's gonna happen. What the fuck?
Can't stop prophecy.
What the hell?
And the thing about it, Esau's been controlled by the Heavenly Father.
Right. So at the end of the day, no matter what he do and what happens, oh, the Bible said that was gonna happen. Damn, they made it look like AI that I, did some shit. Oh, well. Hey, blessed are you when they lie on you.
Right. That's the beauty of it. The Lord put us on game already.
You know?
That's the beauty of it.
Damn, they did AI and made it look like, oh, well, the scripture say the wicked gonna come with lying wonders.
Right.
You know? Damn, beheaded. Hey, they shall live and reign with 1,000 years.
It's all in the scriptures.
It's all in the scriptures. Oh shit, the truth that broke in my house and I was just, oh shit, damn, I'm on the floor. They shall come in like a flood. They shall be like bad men sparing none. endure hardness as a good soldier. Hey,
That's tribulation.
yeah, you know, they put my wife in this van. I got thrown in this van. Where the kids at? He didn't leave into captivity. Shot going to captivity. You know, hey, that brother was just executed. They brought the firing squad. He that killed with the sword, go be killed with the sword. You gonna have to don't be like that. You know?
In the book of Acts, they said they slayed James, right, with the sword.
With the sword, yeah. You know, and that's the disciples had a mentality of, oh, what the Lord said is gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, when it was being brought forth to council, they got beaten.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they left. It was rejoicing.
They
It was counting worth suffer worthy for His name.
Yep.
You know, they were counting worthy to suffer for His name because it was like, oh, the Lord said it's gonna happen, and He counted us worthy. Hey, call on you, like, what's your outside?
Let's fucking go.
You know, so hey,
Shot.
when we certain situations where the Lord performs a miraculous work to deliver us out of certain situations we're gonna just have to eat.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for us to dictate, man. Keep the faith, man. At the end of the day, if you keep the faith, you won. You know, don't let nobody take your crown, man. So, yeah. Hey, call like Leia, you know, no honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, salutations to the elect. Kwame Yashua. Keep the faith.
And nobody take your crown.